name, then so. I am Radon and Taudier, and introduce and all that.
You're asking for his name?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
My name is Chen.
And do you know of the Kobold City to the north of here? I believe it'd be to the north, wouldn't it?
I do. What do
I've
you
heard
wish
rumors.
to know?
Heard rumors that it too is strong with his presence.
Some might say that, yes. There is something of a statue built there to him, built many years ago when that first traveler came through these lands. I suppose that the kobolds just accepted him as god, and that man saw an easy, malleable target in the minds of kobolds.
And you don't think that there is any particular place on these lands that is strongest with his presence? It wouldn't happen to be the Kobold lands, would it?
If I had to take a good guess, I'd say your bet is there. But it's not exactly like us and the kobolds have been on good terms, so I cannot tell you how much that is true. But second best is always where the forge is.
That's true. The forge in this city, was that made by the first who came 200 years ago?
Started by the first man and improved by the second. The man that I'm sure you are seeking. He told us men would come looking for him.
And the ones that came looking, what were they like?
Determined. Angry. Out to prove themselves. Young and stupid.
Or perhaps just overzealous. It's
That's a
coming
word.
from our city. Coming from our city, we are very energetic in our devotion.
I'm sure you are.
And you guys continue a bit of a friendly conversation for a little bit. After about an hour or so into the meal, a particularly ancient-looking turtle hobbles his way over to you guys, and he looks like he has a small tent and supports constructed along the breadth of his back. But he carries it in stride. He has two small spectacles that make his black beady eyes look large, framed in these old brass an arrangement that just sits on your nose, considering he has no ears. And as he approaches, he smacks his lips a little bit and squints and looks around. I'm looking for Rodan and Archimedes.
Present.
Ah, so you are the ones Danny spoke of. Excellent. Come with me, please. Things to show you. Yes. And he starts hobbling away.
Gunn looks to the rest of the group with food in his mouth and in his hands like, oh, we are leaving?
I just really need those two.
Oh, okay, yeah, you guys go. Have fun.
I'll make to leave and then turn around and say, behave yourself. I'll look over
No
to
promises.
I'll look over to where the food table is, where all the turtles are still like climbing around.
Say again, I didn't hear you.
I'll just look, as I say it, I'll look over to where all the turtles like still clambering over all the food and that.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it is gone now. Pretty much everybody's got their fill, but now's the time for conversation and play, basically.
Okay, follow the guy.
Okay, 1 sec.
I've decided on Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
From my heart, I stabbeth thee.
I
Wouldn't
get
it have
hit
been
more
better
often
to
than I
go
would
like?
like.
Wouldn't it have been better to go like a whatchamacallit spell, like a utility spell over a damage spell, since it's only ever going to be
I already have a lot of utility spells. I already have Unseen Servant. I already have Mage Hand, and yeah.
So you two guys start following this ancient turtle, and unfortunately, you walk at a speed slower than his stride, but he walks at a speed faster than your casual walk. So it places you in that uncomfortable escort NPC mission speed, where you're kind of walking forward a couple of feet, stopping, waiting, And as you walk, you're going through these winding halls. And he says, "My name is Valitaz Maxora. I am chief chronicler here. I'm none too into all that fancy kung pao and hokey pokey cheese stuff they go on about. Me, I like history and finding new and exciting things. That's why I wanted to find you two. Rodan, Danny says you are some kind of cleric of Kothar. Is that true?"
That is true.
"That is good news. Sounds like you are a kind man like Mr. Burr was." He keeps hobbling forward.
Mr. Burr. Who is
Yes.
that?
Mr. Thomas Burr, paladin of your god. He said that you would call him the false prophet. But he is a pleasant man. If you can, please do not kill him. He owes me money. And he keeps hobbling forward.
What's this guy's name? I'm trying to take notes.
Thomas, no, the turtle?
Yeah, the turtle.
Valitaz Maxora. Vitaz Maxora. Mokzora. Chief chronicler of Hopetide Monastery. He mentioned moons ago that one day another would come looking for him. I know men have talked to you about the squad that was chasing him, but your look is different. The one in your eyes. He said he'd be waiting for you. And you, Archimedes. Danny tells me you're something of an inventor.
Yeah, I've built a couple things.
She also says you are a little obsessed with the ones who are lost.
Does that mean the ancients, like the precursors? There's like a different. There's so many fucking names.
Yes.
I mean, hypothetically, let's say someone knew everything there ever was to know. Wouldn't you be a little bit upset? Why is no one else obsessed with them?
I am too. That's what I was getting to. I am very excited because I haven't talked to a scholar interested in them in ever. So, I'm glad to make a new friend, I hope. And I am also an inventor, though not as prodigious as I am sure you are, and historian. My life's work has been cataloging the history of our people in our native Aquan tongue and researching the mystery and magnificence of the first civilization. I am hoping by having you both of you here, you may share with me some histories of your outside world, and perhaps an invention or two. In exchange, it has been cleared by the master that I share some things with you. Objects that we have found on our own expeditions, in trades with the merfolk and sea elves. And I've also noticed that strange, dumb green-haired boy seems to be something of a cartographer. Well, if you wish, I can help you expand your map if you help me fill in the blanks on mine.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Achilles fly over to him, kind of land on his shoulder, and crawl into his hands, essentially.
Beautiful piece of machinery, and he starts petting it and like turning it over to kind of look on the inside while scratching his belly, even though he doesn't feel, but he seems to pretend that he does.
Achilles isn't a cat; he's just a machine. He's just like you're petting a toaster.
What's a toaster?
It's an invention back in the Golden Coast. Go ahead and pull that lever right there.
He pulls it.
It turns into a crossbow.
Oh my goodness! That is great.
It took a lot of adjusting.
Can I study this?
Oh, have fun.
Oh yay! Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to pull some stuff up.
Even if he wrecks that shit, as long as it's got the materials like still there, I can just put him back together. So it's not that big a deal.
Sorry, guys. Still trying to fix some stuff.
No, take your time.
So, for the purposes of a visual, This guy.
Damn, I accidentally opened Steam. Oh yeah.
I don't see anything new. Oh, you put it in the.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he continues down the stairs, and you do notice at this point that you are going downstairs. And as you head down, he opens up a door, sliding door on the left and right, and again, painfully slow. But he gets inside. It's a very well-maintained space. It's got a couple of things. It's almost kind of set up like a museum, where there's things in cases. And at the far back side of the chamber, there is a large stone door with 4 rings, each of the rings having symbols. If any of you ever played Skyrim, it looks like those rings in the dungeons that you had to read the claw for to figure out, okay, do I line up the bear or do I line up the butterfly? You know, guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, kind of similar to that. But he brings you inside. So, let's start first. May I see your map?
I don't know which one of us has it, but I'm sure we'll.
I mean, all of you have a copy of a map.
Then yeah, I'll hand over my map.
Ah, interesting. You call that place God's Reach?
It's
Yeah.
kind of,
It
Kind of.
looks like a hand, so you know, big ol' hand, God hand. It makes a lot of sense actually.
I mean, funny enough, we kind of have a similar name for it. It's just God's hand. Because it feels like we've been blessed by the gods sometimes. But I see you've built something there. What is that? Heaven's Hand Castle?
Ark has no idea.
Oh, and then here, and he points to where Fort Horizon is. I'm guessing that's your main settlement on the continent.
Indeed.
And what happened to your folks down here?
And he points towards where the lost colony is.
Yeah, they've gone missing. I believe there's a team still working on that.
Oh yeah, no kidding. But nobody goes there.
What's wrong with there?
It's terrible.
What makes it terrible?
Just everybody who goes there goes away.
Goes away how?
It just disappears.
We haven't gone
Okay.
out there in generations, but let me see if I can help you fill in some of the missing spaces on this.
And you guys now have this map instead.
Oh, well, look at that.
So your adjustment was a little off on the Cobalt City.
Wait, where is it? Dragon Crest Crater?
That would be it. He points to it.
Oh, yeah, the home of the Cobalt, Dragon Crest Crater.
And then he points over to where it says Black Iron Citadel.
And that is the home, the capital of the Memento Mori. I've gone ahead and drawn some borders on your lands to help show you where their vague territory starts and ends.
So that's like a giant lake.
He also works with you to add a giant crater in the middle of the Marrow Valley where you blew up the fucking mountain.
Okay, so it seems like this valley is where all the zombies were, and if they blew up this wall, then we can assume that the zombies are somewhere in this area.
Yes, but you were also informed last week that the kobolds also blew up a wall over here.
Well, I doubt
Meaning
that
the zombies had an equal chance of spilling out into either direction.
I doubt that the Memento Mori were so lucky as to just. It'd be sweet irony if they blew up the walls, only to get flooded by zombies themselves. But I'm not so hopeful.
Well, they didn't do it. The kobolds did it as sabotage.
I know. I'm saying it'd just be hilarious if they tried the exact same tactic and they're like, aha! And now they shall be overrun with the dead. No, wait.
He is actually going to give you a bit of information here, so pay attention to this part. He does point out that
the Memento Mori are largely locked into where they are. There's very few avenues of approach that are safe. The Marrow Valley was something that I would never quite call safe, but as you can see here, their previous defenses were somewhat blown away. The only other ways to really access them outside of the Marrow Valley and traveling up this way is to cross the lake. And not knowing what's going on with the lake, it makes it a little dangerous and a little difficult. Memento Mori is somewhat engaged with the Steelbone Kobolds, but their mountainous and hilly battles, nobody gets a real stake. However, out of curiosity, have you found any of the Memento Mori anywhere else outside of these lands? Like, outside of their borders here?
Yeah.
Only in the valley. there.
Little bit.
Some in the valley. Anywhere else?
Oh,
Have
hey,
we? I don't think we have.
where on this map did the lab explode? Is that the crater right here?
That
Yep.
little grey bit.
Okay, making sure. So yeah, it's a little bit outside their borders.
Okay. And I will remind you guys, because Rodan at the very least would know this. You fought some Myconid around this area, and that is where Gunn got his goggles off the body of a hobgoblin.
Yep. We found a body there.
And you watch as he goes to his own map. He goes up to a wall, grabs a hook, and pulls it down. And what almost looks like a battle map comes down, and he marks an X where you pointed out. And there's X's pretty much scattered all around the map. And he goes, "This confirms my theory. I've known it for some time, but just a little extra never helped, or never hurt, rather. It seems like the Memento Mori, they are subterranean travelers, which leads me to believe that there is a network or some sort of cave system beneath the ground that we know. That seems to be how they primarily travel."
I'll just go ahead and say fuck.
Interesting and all, but this island here in the middle, it's not that ominous looking thing. It's odd how no one's made any sort of claim to it.
Yes, it's what we call the Nameless Isle. For a reason. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to claim it. It seems not to belong to anybody, but nobody really goes there.
Why is that?
Out of respect, it was once the land, or this one small piece of landmass that belonged to the merfolk. But since nobody has seen them, nobody has staked claim to their land.
Not
Out of
even
respect, I suppose.
not even the dudes, the hobgoblins.
I know it may seem like they're mindless animals, but the hobgoblins, well, they actually care quite a bit for those that they conquer. They assimilate them into their culture and their land, and they did have something of a polite trading relationship with the sea elves and the merfolk. So I suppose out of respect, they've left that land uninhabited for now.
You mentioned before that halfling history with hobgoblins was not the prettiest thing, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, just wondering.
But he does explain that when they wanted to trade with the merfolk and whatnot, they would meet in the lake here, and they would travel downriver and out to the cove. Give me one sec. He does scratch his face a little bit. So there's, just so you're aware in your travels, there is, like I said, a war in the north. Funny enough, the hobgoblins were not the first to strike. It was actually the kobolds that attacked the hobgoblins first. Well, that's at least according to our rangers. What else? Oh, what do you call this land?
The Ghostlands, if I'm not mistaken.
Point to the top right-hand corner of our map, right here in the big letters.
Oh, cute. Scary, even. We actually call this land Kyongjang. It means potential of the land. The Memento Mori calls it Sartus. They named it after their first warlord, I believe. The war horde in the south calls it Riskraya, which means war grounds in their tongues. And down to the southwest there, have you heard news of the Clutch at all?
No, I'm gonna look at
That's the reptiles, isn't it?
Yes, reptiles. They called this land Zarkara and named it after their god. When our master Yaochi was a young boy, his father drove off scaled men. And when Yaochi was a young man, humans with dragon banners forced themselves inland. Now, do you know anything about these cultures? I know the men with the dragon banners. They call themselves the Imperium, but no record exists of the names of the scaled men.
when you say scaled men, you mean actual like dragon scales? Because dragonborn are a thing.
Yes, they almost look like the lizard folk to the southwest, but bulkier, stronger. They look like children of dragons.
I don't know what Dragonborn are like in this particular universe, but Archimedes does.
A little racist against. You would know because it's not even a history check on this. It's kind of like somebody going up to you and saying, "Hey, what was World War II about?" kind of thing. So what he's probably referring to is an empire known as the Ignitarchus. They were the big bads before the Crimson Imperium was the big bad. They were the OG bad guy, basically, when it came time to do global wars. They are particularly known for xenophobia, magical exploration and exploitation, and a couple of other odds and ends. But they were conquerors. They are the only empire in history thus far that has conquered over 90% of the known world. They eventually, just like Rome, spread themselves too thin, and that helped lead to their slow decline. But the thing that finally put them in the ground was a meteor that crashed into their capital city.
As one does.
That is where your Argonatrix was found. In the crater where their capital city was.
Wait. He went to the center of that desert?
No, an expedition went to the center of that desert.
Oh,
It was in a museum. They
Yeah,
weren't
he was
using
doing the
it.
hard work. But yeah, an expedition did go to the center of that desert because, I'll also point this out because this is important for everybody, the Ignitarchus is also the reason why there are huge chunks of history in this world that nobody knows anything that happened. They collected and hoarded pretty much every piece of lore, technology, magic that they could possibly find, and when that meteor dropped on their capital city where their library was, pretty much everything was destroyed with it.
Oh, that's sad.
So there's yeah, that's where Apocrypha went.
No. Really?
What?
I was gonna say. So what you're saying is, Archimedes' predecessor summoned the meteor with his bracelet.
Yeah, I was about
And
to
the
say, like, rolling like a 1D1000 and just like, what's that new thing in the sky?
Well, it's very much theorized what it was because that that continent, the whole continent of the world. So if you guys should actually have a world map now. I added that to your. So if you go into your journals, sorry, not journals. It's under, where did I put it?
Notes and handouts.
Yeah, I found it.
Asked.
Ooh, the Chernobyl ocean.
Christ, the barrel. You see the continent that's called Yoruba. That's where most of last campaign took place. Before the meteor fell, that whole continent was called Shaza, which was named after the Empress Shinazare. When that meteor crashed, the meteor was called Yoruban. They renamed it in thanks for wiping out the fucking worst scourge that this planet has ever seen up until that moment.
I see the Shatterstone Islands in the corner there.
Ah, you sure do. And this is right here, this desert in Yoruban. If you see that star, that's where the city of Damon Sadesh is. A little bit to the north of that, right in the middle of where that deserty area is, that's where Solaris is. That was the capital.
Fun fact, that desert makes you go insane. Second
Yes.
fun fact, Gilgamesh lived in that desert.
Yes, that desert does make you go insane if you stay there for too long. It's called the Whispering Wastes.
So two quick questions though. Where are we right now?
You're not even on the map.
West.
Oh,
This way.
You're west of Gadron. You're west of west.
And where is the Golden Coast?
Golden Coast would be you see where it says the Shimmering Sea?
I will in a second. Yes.
Okay. To the left of that, you see those two dots?
Right. Gotcha.
That strip is the Golden Coast.
Right. Nisk and other one that I don't remember the name of.
Oh, are you
Niska
from
and
near
Tectus.
Niska?
What'd you say, Gilgamesh?
I was asking if he's from near Niska.
Yes, he is.
Hey, look, Nemo's at the center of the map. I found him.
So is Gun.
Who is what?
I don't get the gun.
But basically, he's the Scaled Men. If you had to put a theory, considering Empress Shinazare basically conquered most of the known world, if you had to take any guess, the Scaled people would be the Ignitarchus, the Dragonborn.
Right. So basically, just they were Rome and they tried to conquer the Ghostlands a long ass time ago.
Yes, they were super Rome, and they spread their empire too far. They pissed off some very, very powerful people, and a lot of people theorized that meteor wasn't entirely a natural phenomenon, since how convenient that it landed perfectly right in the middle of that capital city. But nobody really knows for sure.
Yeah, I found footage of that, by the way. Posted in.
I will also note that those of you who do study history, at least in this world, like I said, a lot of it remains lost. That wartime period, there's plenty of oral histories that still exist and military reports. There were casters on very few, but there were casters on some sides that were capable of casting 9th level spells. That city came under attack more than once from a meteor swarm, and it still stood strong afterwards. So this meteor was big enough to fucking nuke a desert.
Right. It wasn't a meteor swarm meteor. It was a meteor Sephiroth meteor.
Yes, exactly. It was a Madara Uchiha meteor. Small moon. Yeah.
And
yep.
you have to update
Was there a
personal
life
map.
in these comics too?
What'd you say, Rodan?
Well, our personal map in that notes and handouts were updated.
Yes, I will have to update it, but I'm not on my current computer. But you guys have this for now.
How do you spell Ignataka?
I'll spell it for you.
IGNITARKUS.
IS.
IS.
So let's just get things straight. So you're locked in like a 3-way war between Kobolds, Memento Mori, and Hopetide Monastery. Like free for all.
Oh no, I represent Hopetide, and no, we are not at war with anyone. It's war is not our nature. We want to be friends. We want to be peaceful. We want to bring peace back to these lands, but everybody's making it so hard.
I get what you're saying, but we walked up and one of your people was being like wrecked by a kobold. So like it or not, I think you're kind of involved.
Yes, we're kind of involved now, and I don't like that. And our rangers are going missing. Nothing is good. Everything is bad.
I'm sure we can resolve it in some way.
I feel like there's probably a new monarch reigning over the Kobold City that's going to make some very unpleasant changes going forward. We're going to have to deal with that.
Maybe. But I'm not entirely convinced it's only kobolds attacking our people. Or the Memento Mori.
It almost certainly is not. Everything here wants to kill us.
That's fair. It's very fair. You know how you stay alive, son? You be afraid. To be afraid means you're alive.
I can respect it.
But I would understand if they were just killing our rangers, but in the past couple of weeks, our fishermen are missing as well. Now the merfolk are gone. The sea elves are gone.
The fishermen being, I assume, on the lake.
Yes, they fish just off the coast of our side here. We don't stray into anyone's waters. We respect everybody's borders.
I'm sure the merfolk are apparently evil now. Everything's
Why? We've done nothing. They're very nice.
You'd think that until they start killing all your. Okay, I'm sorry.
Not everything out here is out to kill you. What's his name? What is that group's name? And he starts scrambling into his notes and he's pulling things out. What is it? There it is. Brightburn Wardens. And he slides something over to you. Oh, wait, you can't read that. And he takes it back. Yes, there's more good people here. More people besides us. The Brightburn Wardens. They are a goblin tribe, but they're educated. They're smart. They're very helpful. Their leader is a very nice man, and he's helped us as much as possible. Not everything is out here to kill you.
He wouldn't happen to be
to unknown elements.
Yeah, he wouldn't happen to look like Emma described.
No. I do believe he called himself Goblak.
What?
What?
That name means nothing to me.
Yes.
Like we
nice.
saved at the end, remember?
Yeah, at the end of the first campaign, Goblak was brought back to life. And he and he did have a epilogue that stated that he was headed west.
Quick summary for you, Blake. Goblak was a character played by
a player character.
It was a PC for a little bit. Who the PC then kind of disappeared from our group, and Goblak ended up becoming the
part
the
of the big
physical
bad.
body for an eldritch being of death and doom that was also the final boss.
And then they kind of, Odric, when he became a god, kind of wished him back to life, but he said he was headed west.
Not Audric, but Audric's character.
Ian Yaris, yes.
Yeah.
Surprise! Audric's a god!
But he does point out that image that you project, he is not with the Brightburn. He has passed through here before. A strange little fellow.
Yeah, that's true.
Why? What is your encounter with him?
He helped us with a couple of skullcap kobolds a while ago. Just finished off one of the leaders as he's trying to get away with the thing.
He has a habit of showing up at the wrong place at the right time.
Anyway. He starts thinking, what else do you folks need to know?
History-wise, not a whole lot, but we're surrounded by like various artifacts and a weird door that undoubtedly goes to some cool shit.
Yeah, probably. Oh, you're talking about that? And he gestures to the big vault door.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that during this entire conversation, I'm talking to him like over my shoulder while I examine shit.
Yeah. So in this chamber itself, there's mostly within the display cases, it's broken pieces of metal. Some of them have precursor script on them. Interestingly enough, there are other pieces. There is a sword in pristine, fine condition, but the pommel, the maker's mark on the actual blood groove of the blade would indicate that it was Crimson Imperium issue. There is a dwarven helmet. Very rigid, very beautiful make, kind of dented in the skull, and there's dried blood on it. If you had to period it, probably Crystal King a couple hundred years ago. They do have relics of people who have come to this island before, or this continent before, and they do have precursor things in here as well. Nothing outwardly magical, openly obvious.
Doing the usual arc stuff.
Okay, nothing registering to you. Once you guys finish up with the maps, he goes, all right, I'm sure you want to see what's behind the fancy door. And he walks up to it and he closes his eyes, and you watch as he slowly starts weaving signs with his hand, and you're starting to follow along with it when suddenly he just kicks it into overdrive and muttering under his breath, and finally puts his palm against the door and 4 locks slide into place, and the door slowly descends. It is a massive room on the other side, and strung up in the center of it is a massive, destroyed, wrecked, pieces missing, but obviously precursor construct.
Like golem? Like, what are we looking at?
No, let me see if I have a picture. Where is it?
Does it express its values of freedom and denounce the Red Menace? Is its democracy non-negotiable?
No, it's not Liberty Prime. It is huge. I'll give it that much. Appears to have 3 legs. A 4th one was ripped off. Nothing that really resembles a head, but there is a torso-like shape, very much dented and destroyed, and there is a tail that is snapped in half at some point in the past. It doesn't light up. It doesn't move. It's not active, but it's being propped up by chains, and it's limp. Also in the room is, he points over to it. Over there is the precursor weapons we believe we found.
Yep.
All of them are broken.
I don't care.
They're all smashed in half. None of them seem functional, but despite being destroyed, they're still somehow in pristine condition. Most of them are barrel pieces or pieces that don't match one another, but the way that these are designed doesn't match anything that anybody is even remotely aware of. Rodan taking time to study and examine them as well because you appreciate craftsmanship. Whatever made these, however you make these, this is science and technology that is perhaps eons ahead of what you currently are capable of.
Shame it's all broken.
There is a big lead box a couple of feet to your right that does pulsate with energy that you can detect even without any kind of detect magic abilities. And he mentions, I would be very careful about opening that.
What's in it?
Some kind of pyramid device that we found. It glows. It was something at one point, but the ranger who found it after bringing it back fell deathly ill, and he eventually succumbed.
Can I run a detect magic on it and see what it is?
Sure. It registers very similarly to the UDT from the outside. If you want to open it, you can take a look.
Bitch. How long was he exposed to it for?
Oh, he said that he found it well, actually, it was something that was lost in the lake originally. He grabbed it, swam up with it. He must have been holding it for maybe 3-4 hours. It seems to leak dangerous magic out of it.
Yeah, I get it. You know, rotogens. Yeah, okay. Hey, guys. Can I just open it for a minute? You don't have to, you can leave. Just...
Oh, yes, I'll be stepping out if you open it.
I'm going to warn them. If he's cool with me opening it, I'm just going to, for the briefest of instances, just, like, open it up, take a look, like, 4-minute long examination, depending on what I see, close the box. You gotta risk it if you want to get warlock shit.
Okay, you take 1 radiant damage. Your face does get a little tanner.
Oh, that's fine.
But what you do learn is that it is definitely UDT. And somehow that seemingly unbreakable shell has been cracked. And there is a bright, vibrant white light on the inside that threatens to burn your eyes when you look directly at it. And that's what seems to be leaking. The entire inside of the box is pockmarked with energy.
Couldn't use mending to fix that, could I?
Mending to fix it? You're not even sure what it'll do. If it will do anything.
Is it a sort of familiar kind of like?
It's sort of not really, but yes, I get what you're getting at. It kind of is.
Can I tell what this UDT used to be about? Is there any way to operate it, or is it inoperable?
Seems to be inoperable. It's broken, whatever it is. So whatever, unless there's some way to repair it, whatever knowledge it once held might be lost forever.
You need a UDT about fixing UDTs.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That'd be so convenient. If only there were scissors to open this taped box labeled scissors. Anyway.
You kind of flip the lid closed, and as you do, out of the corner of your eye in a glass case, you notice a little vial of what looks like black liquid, and it's a very familiar shape because it looks like the same thing that was inside that injector you used on yourself.
Okay, look, man. The first time I got lucky, black is a bad color.
Black might be a bad color.
Don't take them all for yourself.
I mean, hey, man, if someone else wants to roll the dice on the injector, they're free to. I got my roll. I got my warlock spells. I'm done now.
Is everyone there, or is it just them?
It's just Rodan and Archimedes right now.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. I was like, oh, I would definitely take that if the last.
I'm willing to say.
I'm not there, so.
I'm willing to say at this point that all Ark is going to do is examine everything in this room for as long as he is allowed to. Even if all those weapons are broken, I still want to see if I can glean some kind of like inspiration on weapon design out of them, or
sure,
if in the crazy situation, if they allow me to like have one of them to use in my own weapon designs. Holy shit! But that's asking too much.
Probably a little bit.
when he looks at the vial, I say, "Oh no, don't think that. You got lucky once again."
Oh no, I'm good. If someone else wants to try, then they're free to. But I think I'm gonna call it quits while I'm ahead. Essentially, black is a bad color.
Yeah, it does. If anything, it looks like it probably off. Let's not fuck with that, okay? I'd say I wouldn't. I don't want to literally say it like that, but
does it do the same? Does it come back as the same Universal School, or is it?
No, it doesn't come back as any magic.
The last one came back as Universal, though.
The last one came back as Universal. This one doesn't seem to have any magic in it.
Yeah, I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all.
Definitely liquid in it, though.
it's just printer ink.
Let me inject myself with printer ink. Well, you're more expensive as you die. Rodan, you study a couple of the pieces of scrap metal around the chamber. You recognize once again, you've encountered some of these fragments before, alchemical silver. More of them with printed insignias and stuff on it. There is what looks to be a hunk of adamantine that might have been a part of maybe a larger construct at one point, maybe a sword or a hammer, maybe even a suit of armor. You're not quite sure. But that large construct behind you has you worried. It was something that was designed by you would almost feel a sick individual. It's everything that makes golems terrible, and it's been multiplied. It is something wrong. And he notices you eyeing it and comes back in. Yes, Master Yao Chi's father fought that when it crawled from the lake. It was a terrible day. We lost 2-3 dozen. It shot hot lead at us. It tore men apart. It was terrible, and he managed to defeat it at the cost of his own life.
I'll walk up to it and examine the metal it's made out of. Is it made out of?
You examine it. Go ahead and I'd say identify would cover it. This one. Give me one moment. So some of the plates on it do appear to be adamantine. It's not the full construct, however, but there are in key spots adamantine plate. There is also pieces of mithril on some of the heavier looking parts. Seems to be a way to keep it light and whatnot. And you can peer on the inside and see there are what looks to be some kind of wires or something that appear to be made of gold and platinum and silver.
I'll turn to the old man and say, "You never had any thought of breaking this thing down and using its materials?"
We are terrified of that creature. It killed many of us, and I am quite afraid of breaking it open and turning it back on again. Master Yao Chi is a brave man, but we can't risk losing another master to this foul beast.
Surely we could take it apart piece by piece and melt it down.
We tried once. That's why we had to try to find a way to remove the tail.
And he pulls back his cloak a little bit, and you can see on the stomach there is a huge hole that has been plated up with steel.
I will not make that mistake again.
I'm going to bring up the Organatrix and see if it gets any interaction with the robot here.
Okay. Yes, actually. Give me a moment.
Whatever you do, don't turn it back on.
Reactivating. No.
Cancel! Stop!
Cancel order!
Watch as once a similar thing, a beam, like you were scanned with, comes out and starts... goes up and down, stops for a second, seems to think for a second, and then the screen goes entirely red, and then just starts scrolling with all sorts of warnings. You can't read any of them, but you understand what an exclamation point what it looks like.
Yeah. Shit's fucked. Is the translation I'm getting.
You kind of swipe the prompts away, and you can see that there are almost a display pops up in front of you, and it shows you what it's supposed to be like when it's fully put together.
Oh, I will copy that down to to my journal.
You don't think you could find its power source maybe and remove it?
Yeah, if there's anything to be gleaned from the blueprints on its construction, on how it can be safely
not so much construction, but it gives you almost like you constantly ask a status report.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't have an
That's the full
opportunity to
image.
say it. Okay, so yeah, give me a second.
Oh, shit.
That's a terrible thing. We should never activate that.
Yeah, let's fucking melt it down.
That's
Scrap.
the most evil
Plug it back in.
shit.
I mean, have we just tried throwing it in a giant crucible and
We do not have a crucible large enough to perform such a task.
going?
I was thinking about messing with this thing until I saw that picture, and now I'm like, nope. We're gonna get the fuck out of here.
I mean, it looks like it could solve some problems.
Oh no, why not?
And scrolling to the bottom of the prompt after you move the image away, you
Systemic corruption detected.
Source of corruption?
Systemic corruption detected.
Oh, you're fucking useless sometimes. I'm sorry, baby. I love you. Yeah, like I
Dirty
said,
hoe.
like I
Sorry,
said,
baby, I love you.
I'm just gonna examine all of these items in as much detail as possible.
Sure. After the two of you begin studying the Argonatrix a little bit, he will look on in awe and say,
I've never seen a working one of these before.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking rare. I'm working on fixing it. It's coming along a little bit.
Slowly, it seems.
I don't suppose you understand any of the language.
How are you that daft?
Who's this ghost? Why does he speak?
I'm looking for something. Sorry, 1 second.
I can't tell who you're calling daft, the turtle or me.
You.
I
What
know.
did he just say to you? What did he just say?
What, the fact that he hasn't seen a working one? I mean, I assume he's seen non-working ones because we're surrounded by all these precursor relics, yeah.
But after a little bit to examine it, you understand, and it translates for you, that this thing is called a scarab walker.
Interesting. In the interest of following up on the thing, because he's right, I'm being pretty daft. Do you have any non-working ones of these?
One
I can
or
look at?
two. And he hobbles over to a drawer and pulls it open. He throws you one that's clearly been kind of completely cracked in half. It doesn't even have the other half. And he tosses another one to you that is an entire glove.
Oh. An entire glove?
Yeah, but like when I say an entire glove, it seems like an older model than even what you have. It's kind of like looking at a Wiimote and then somebody hands you the Nintendo Power Glove.
Gotcha. Okay. I hate to keep repeating this. I'm gonna examine these.
Sure. You run the status over it. Doesn't register much of anything. What you do get is that both of them, their power sources are completely drained.
Figured.
Well, the other one is just fucking broken. This one, the glove, is in full piece, but power source drained.
Yeah. Looking for parts that seem compatible with the model I have. The intricacies on how mine operates.
Maybe
yada yada.
maybe the screen, maybe some of the more cosmetic features, but your model, it seems to be a newer model compared to the power glove here.
Okay. Anything I can learn, I'll learn.
Sure. And you guys take some time to study. Back upstairs real quick. After another 30 minutes or so of eating and drinking, Renshi Chawe approaches, and his metallic rings clink with an indignant air.
Tobias.
Oh.
Put the food down. Master Yao Chi would like a word in private.
Okay. Sorry, give me 1 sec.
Closes the.
Okay, give me 1 moment. Gotta switch up the music a little bit. So you never really actually realized that he left, seemingly having moved with the shadows that depart. Escorted up the stairs, Chow Wei gestures to a room and then walks away. There's a door in front of you.
Slowly.
Okay. Once again, back into this open air sanctum. You just happen to find another way around to it. And you can see that Master Yao Chi sits cross-legged, but floating a foot off the ground. And as you enter, you can see off to your right is Danny, standing there as well.
Oh, hey. Let's go.
So she kind of puts her finger to her lips towards you.
I can run.
Hey.
Hello.
And she speaks to you.
Ah. I am hearing that voice.
Sure are.
Ben.
Okay. I was like looking around. I was like, am I hearing somebody? Oh, okay. Yeah. Lots of things happened. Bargy book, you were in a coma. Thought you weren't coming out of it. So I copied the whole thing. But I didn't copy and eat it. Like it's still there. Like literally copy.
So basically, he recaps for you that sorry that you were in a coma. He's been trying to talk to you. He took your book. He copied some things from your book. And he feels really bad about it, but he wants you to know that your book is still in one piece. That he didn't fuck around with anything while he was in your room. He just really focused on the book and he thinks it's interesting.
Okay, as long as you don't, keep it.
Nope.
She holds her hand out.
I always left it in the room, so she should still have it. I copied it while in the room.
She eyes you suspiciously, but it's fine. And Master Yao Chi begins turning around, looking to the both of you with a smile. I know it's been some time since you had time to speak with one another, so I will hopefully get this done quickly. I have things to say to the both of you, things that you both must hear, and something to present to you.
Yes.
Danny, you and Tobias come a long way from home. You, the daughter of Aristel and Avankar.
Tobias kind of mouths the words as if committing them to memory.
I have known you for a long, long time, child. Longer than you've even been an idea. Such is the way of the Dreamlands. I first found myself there 600 or so years ago and explored. I met your mother on one of my many journeys, and we became fast friends. It was her idea to form the Council of Dreamers, you know? Such an extraordinary woman, so cursed with knowledge and life. Your eyes have much pain and confusion, just as hers once did. She made a request of me once, and that is why I have trained you when you were here. She told me that if you ever came seeking her, seeking the truth, that I needed to test you. Are you willing to accept that test?
If that was my mother's will, then of course.
Good. You have already passed the first test, a willingness to try. We will see for sure if the power of Aristel flows through you, or the influence of Avankar. And now he turns his attention towards Tobias.
Tobias is kind of eyeing back and forth the conversation, and then locks eyes. So I have seen you before.
In the dreams, yes. Looking to him now, taking in his full form, you can see that behind him, where this temple is, basically, it looks across the whole lake, and you can see that the tides gently ebb in the moons above, from the moons above. The massive reflection of the lake casts dull, radiant light into the chamber, illuminating the whole chamber with a ghostly glow. The scattered form of Oribus, the broken moon, stands in stark contrast to Etov, the body that still lies whole, pockmarked by millennia of falling astral bodies, blocking it from hitting Magnus like a shield around the world. Slowly, he nods to you and gives you a knowing smile. Tobias Fujikawa Shaw. Even your name speaks of who you are. A child of two worlds, of light and shadow, of reality and illusion, of this world and that which dances behind it. A man, a boy, of two souls. But I can feel there has been an awakening in you. You have discovered a truth. But not a whole truth. Tell me, young man, what do you know?
Tobias kind of eyes Danny for a moment and then said, a lot of things, like specifically. Like
he just stares at you. He just blinks.
Okay.
I think this is part of the test.
Oh. That must have stuck, but
shakes his head, smiles a little bit, laughs a little bit. Tell me of what you found within you.
This isn't a trick question.
Not a trick question this time.
Deciding.
I don't think living on this earth there has ever been a harder to read individual.
Damn. Tobias like peeks around, like make sure nobody else is. Is that door shut?
It's all open air.
Fuck. Okay, he just leans in and just gives the whole spiel. Okay, yep. See, family passed down. It's called Soulwell. I could go the paragraphs and paragraphs. Do you want me to spout the whole thing?
Do you want me to just sum it up for you?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. You basically say that you recently found out that you had something within you called the soul well, something passed down from generation to generation within your family that allows you to compound gifts that other people have, that you have, and become stronger with time. And he nods.
Danny's like, Tobias, what the hell?
Hey, look, it's freaking me out. Like, people are after me.
Yes. Nothing you said was wrong. But it is not all right, either. You have dipped beyond the veil and seen into the pool of your own soul. But you have disturbed the water, much like the lake behind me. The power within you is a most powerful blessing if wielded and used properly. But you have much in you that you do not know about. To become truly great, you must embrace the light within. Forsake the shadows that cloud your mind, your judgment, and fill you with fear. Only then will you be able to see deeper. You watch as he stoops down a little bit and takes a feather from the ground in his palm and gently blows on it. And you watch as that feather slowly flies out of the room, drifting carefully to the lake. And as it touches the surface, the small ripple cascades, counteracting the choppiness of the water, and it stills the entire lake. Both moons now glow to their full potential, and with it, you watch as the familiar green runes slowly begin crawling across your skin as you're basked in the full light of the moon. And the master smiles. You have been given the burden of terrible responsibility. And with that responsibility, you grip the past tight, fearful of the unknown of tomorrow. I can sense her within you, Tobias. She loves you dearly. But has she told you the whole truth?
I don't know. She's been asleep ever since I awakened it, and I was hoping you guys might be able to figure out a way to heal her. Wake her up.
The only one with the power to heal her, Tobias, is you. She will awake soon, yes, but she is sacrificing pieces of her for you. So long as she stays with you, she will never be free. She will guide you faithfully and love you, yet never get to experience the freedom in the next life. Never get to find peace with your father. So long as you hold on to her. It is ultimately your decision with which how to proceed. I am not here to tell you what to do, young man, merely act as a guide. But so long as you only try to do what you can do, you can never become more than who you are now. If you would like to become more, if you, Danny, would like to become more, meet me in the courtyard tomorrow at dawn and prepare to face consequences. Bring with you only those that you trust with your life, because your lives will be on the line. Sleep well, young man and young lady. The future lies within your hands and no one else's.
Nothing he said is going to help me sleep well tonight. I was going to sleep like a nervous wreck.
Well, I've got nothing to do for this next arc.
Not necessarily true.
Audrey just assumed no one trusts him with their lives.
So you guys are allowed to leave the chamber as he kind of slowly starts going to sleep. You guys walk down the stairs together. You guys talk about anything?
Well, as we have walked out the door, I just immediately squish Tobias in my arms, like, "Hey, how are you?"
No.
She squeezes him so hard.
I am fine, thank you.
It's been a while. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Tobias, pulls out his dagger and looks at it.
Are they outdoors?
I mean, they're still within the monastery grounds, but yeah.
Can Sarah the Triceratops suddenly appear behind Danny and lick her head?
Well, Danny doesn't know Sarah the Triceratops, so I imagine screaming would begin, but no, they're not outside.
Darn.
But you guys are kind of going down the stairs together, and you're free to talk about whatever you want.
Holding up the dagger. This is what he was talking about.
What is that? Other than a dagger.
It's what left of my sister.
What does that mean?
I really don't know. She's in there. But she was. She's sleeping now.
How did that happen?
Would I be able to share memories through like dreams?
He just stepped away.
Oh, yeah. She sacrificed herself to get me out of the Feywild.
Oh.
But she didn't die. She made a deal with an archfey.
Well,
I was unconscious at the time, but I can only have bits of her memory from that when it happened.
Of her memory?
Yeah.
How?
This is all new to me. I learned most of this 8 days ago.
Yeah, what the hell is soul what?
Okay,
What's with the soul thing? I don't understand. Is that why we had a weird
No, I think that was more of my sister. I'm not sure how the dream thing even worked. I thought I don't know.
I know a bit about people being trapped in things. I don't know if it'd be the same concept. But yeah. Do you know if she's like okay?
Well, she had the ability to. She had her own branch of the soul well, but there you go. That may be part of the reason why she was unable to unlock mine. Because I didn't have this more than a week ago.
So she's been talking to you?
No, I mean, she would occasionally, like, I know it sounds weird, but, like, visit me in my dreams and then kick my ass until I learn stuff. Like, the first couple days... Yeah, like, the first couple of days we come back after a couple of our trips, it was, like, night after night. I couldn't wake up for, like, hours. Tired every day.
Is that who I saw in your dream when I was there?
Was my face in the ground, like that?
I mean, someone was showing you how to fight. And it was a woman or a girl?
Yeah, that was her.
Wow. Cool. Well, so I've been here. It's been great, but there's some weird shit going on. How much?
Yeah, lots of crazy stuff like mountains exploding, tsunamis crashing into giant physical barriers the size of the island.
Yeah, I mean, like...
I'm trying to calm down. I'm trying to...
Yeah. There's a lot to learn from this place. Some things that could be useful for the camp and all, but it's been nice for the most part.
Yeah.
The master's been training me. He's great. Just super, master.
Oh,
he's so super.
Why did you fall asleep in the first place? Like, did something hit you? Because we just found you unconscious one day.
I was learning some things, and I don't really know exactly what happened, but I was fine. I mean, nothing crazy happened. It was just, I think part of the process of, I don't know, finding out new ways to use my skill, and I had to do that. It was sudden, but it had to happen. Kind of like your training, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't even know what it was when it first started happening.
Yeah, me neither.
All of a sudden, you're in a dream and some stranger just starts kicking your ass.
Yep,
it really hurts.
Sounds about right. Yeah, it's real, and I mean, you've seen the book, so.
Yeah.
But you guys continue your conversation, heading back to your chambers. But there is an important question that needs to be answered. You were tasked or told that you can bring those who you trust because your lives have been on the line. So for each of you, is there anybody that you want to bring to whatever the hell is going to happen tomorrow?
There's trust and there's trust.
Yeah. Like with our lives, like I've only been taught to trust myself, so.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to Archimedes and I'm gonna tell him, okay,
That's
look,
a twist.
I have a demon eye, and if it gets taken, if I die, the world's gonna end. You gotta save my life no matter what the cost.
What? Wait, what?
What?
Theories were true, but I must be saved at all costs. Come with me.
Insight.
Yeah, go ahead.
Roll to doubt. That's a 13. I
I mean, the magical principle. You studied this. This is there. This doesn't make sense, but he's saying this with such conviction. You don't understand. What?
I don't believe you, but I can't take the risk that you're not full of shit. All right.
This is the most reluctant. This is the most reluctant. Sure, I'll be your champion.
Welcome to Archimedes. What are we doing? What am I saving you from? What did you fuck with? You have a demon eye. What the fuck? Okay.
Don't worry about it.
And he kind of fills you in a little bit that you just need to be there with him tomorrow in the courtyard for something.
Do I need to shoot a turtle?
No, we're not shooting any turtles.
Because I'm totally ready to shoot a turtle right now.
I'm just saying I'm only good for a couple things, and a lot of them are gun related.
Oh, God.
Danny, Tobias, you guys asking anybody else to accompany you?
I'm not bringing anybody, except the only person I trust is Tobias, and he's already there.
So you're choosing Tobias?
Yeah.
I
T-Pain.
was also going to choose Danny, but
Tobias, anybody else?
I mean, Tobias trusts the rest of his team, but
I mean, if you want to bring the rest of the team, you're absolutely able to.
You just won a free boat ride, and you can bring 2 friends. Who do you bring?
well, let's see. Who the best person who can cook, which is me. Best person who can hunt, which is also me.
And T-Pain. Show right.
Do you want to bring the whole team? You do not have to, but I need a count here.
And Tobias will mention it, like if anybody wants to. He's not sure what it's about.
All right, so eventually all of you guys are approached as a group, basically. He presents, hey, apparently something's going to happen tomorrow. Apparently my life is on the line. I need to take people that I trust with me. If you're willing to come, sure, I'm down for it. So does anybody not take up his offer?
Oh yeah, sure, let's just let him die. No, we have to follow.
Archimedes says that. I just point towards the eye.
Danny's just like whistling and like looking at the ceiling.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I don't fucking believe you. But
Getting
again,
an explosion.
I don't fucking believe you. But I have to, because what if I'm wrong?
This is about trust. God damn it.
All right, so let me rephrase this. Is anybody taking up the offer?
I'll take up the offer.
I mean, I'm going.
Rodan.
I don't have anything better to be doing.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it.
Audric, what about you?
Is he asking me implicitly, or
He puts the offer out to every single person in the team who he knows. He said, "My life is potentially on the line. If you guys want to come, you please come."
now did he say please come, or
I don't know, Tobias.
I would have been polite. A reason to be rude to Audrey.
pass?
You pass on this one?
No. Come, like, go around the room.
Everybody else did. They all kind of just threw their hat in.
Nah, fuck it, why not?
All right. So you guys
What's
head to bed. Sarah's not a person. Sarah heads to bed. You guys head to bed. You guys take as comfortable as a rest as possible. And seemingly magically, you all wake up at exactly when you're meant to. A couple of about 30 minutes before dawn. And you all know that you're supposed to make your way to the courtyard by dawn.
On the
I
way.
actually have the thing on my... I have it on my sword.
You're going to put it on your sword?
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
On the way over, Tobias kind of leads over to Danny. Is like, so you got here like a good bit before us, right? Like,
by the way, you guys can have talked about whatever you wanted to have talked about over the night. You could ask this question now, but I'm just for future. If you want to like message her or anything, that's fine.
Okay.
But what did you ask her just now?
Yeah, what was it?
Like you got here before us, right? Like a week ago or longer? My sense of time's all fucked up.
Like a week and a half or two.
Did
The
you see
master's
anybody from the
been,
First
like,
Legion that was still
training.
around? Because apparently they moved on.
No, I definitely wouldn't have brought that up.
That's all.
Okay. So, you guys head out to the courtyard.
I'm gonna like quickly lean over to Tobias and be like, just if anything crazy happens, like dreamy like, just remember everything from the book. And she just marches forward.
We're still awake right now, right?
Yeah.
Opening the book and start.
So
Cramming.
everybody who chose to bring themselves to this fight, please line yourself up. Erin's sitting this one out because she doesn't want to die. Line yourselves up behind Tobias
I only
and
see
Danny.
just a big white screen, so.
Zoom in a little bit.
Oh wait, read.
I mean.
Wait, so who are we fighting?
Oh, it just
We're on the
popped in.
south.
You're all starting down here. Sarah is not here.
I think you just did that so you can see.
Does this little peninsula here give me a good line of sight towards the entire battlefield?
Well, there's no battle per se, and it seems that you're meant to line up at the bridge.
Oh, fine. I was like, ooh, sniper position.
And Audric, you can see. Everybody can see.
Oh.
All right. So you guys begin marching down towards the courtyard just as the sun is beginning to come up, and you can see that ahead, resting on the edge of the roof, on top of his staff, standing atop of it, smiling still, is Master Yao Qi. Good morning, young ones. Welcome to a new day. The dawn always smiles upon those who walk two worlds. Tell me, have you chosen who you trust most?
Yep.
Danny, you have brought yourself. Or you have trusted in your friend.
I brought myself.
And Tobias, have you trusted in your friend?
Yeah.
Noted. To accept your gifts, the both of you, and unlock the potential of your own powers, to have the power to protect your friends and the ones you love, you must face things within you that prevent you from becoming more. Cross the bridge before you and leave your old self behind. Meditate before the pool of reflection and face whatever you may find within.
Ark, by the way, hearing that is going to go, oh, shit.
Sort of like nudge Tobias in the back, like, come on, do something.
You're the one doing this. Do
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of what he said. Leave the thing.
He said cross the fucking bridge.
He said leave.
He said leave your old self behind and cross the fucking bridge. Reflect in front of the pole. That was yelling. Reflect in front of the fucking pole.
Like, is that metaphorical? I'm trying to figure this shit out.
Modern
So
day Shakespeare.
You guys are free to cross with them as well, it seems.
A bridge by any other name would be as short to cross, you asshole.
The master starts laughing again at you, Tobias, and then gently gestures to a spot along the banks here.
Move it there. I was supposed to go there the entire time.
Tobias and Danny, please kneel.
Am I not supposed to be at the rank?
Oh, you're fine to be where you want. You are here to support them.
I don't fucking know ceremony shit. I'm just gonna go sit at this bench.
He sits on a bench.
Is that a
Gun,
bench?
you staying way back there? It is a bench, kind of. It is a buried pillar in the ground that can serve as a bench.
Good enough.
I'm gonna say
It's a
gun moves
submerged
up at
gun.
least a little bit.
I'm gonna rise up and start shooting.
Okay. So, for the two of you, staring into the pool, you watch your own reflection for a little bit. I need both of you to make wisdom saving throws as you begin to close your eyes and focus on the pool. Okay. All right. You close your eyes, Tobias, and you suddenly feel freezing cold. You open your eyes, and you are surrounded on all sides by a voidless sea, floating in nothingness. You blink again, and now there are 100,000 red eyes looking towards you. You feel your body suddenly tense up, paralyzed in terror. You feel your fear pumping through your veins. You feel panic. You can see them approaching, surrounding. They whisper your name, Tobias, 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 Tobias. Danny, you close your eyes, and you're with your mother. You're in the forest, and you see a figure standing ahead of you, coming out of the trees, and she screams to you, run, run, run! And you want to move, but your feet, they're just stuck in the ground. The ground is swallowing you, and that figure is approaching closer and closer. For the both of you, what do you do? Tobias, you first.
Am I still... The enemies are all approaching.
It's just 100,000 red eyes approaching you, whispering your name.
I try to fight the fear and then fight them.
All right, make another wisdom saving throw. You say, fuck that. You start summoning the power of the rune within you. Everybody else watches as Tobias' skin, even though his eyes are closed, his skin begins glowing with those vibrant green runes. And in your mind, Tobias, you are a glowing green beacon in the darkness, and you hear hundreds of thousands of hisses and screams as the darkness is driven away. Danny, what do you do?
I'm gonna close my eyes and just like hold my hands up towards the figure that's coming at me and just kind of breathe in and out and be like, it's going to be okay. Just stop and try to focus on moving and running away.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw. You feel your feet free a little bit, and you begin moving yourself away, and you hear that laugh coming from behind you. You'll always be running.
Do I recognize the voice?
Nobody you've ever heard before.
This is
You
not
glance
a
over your
thing. This is separate.
You glance. No, it's not. Yes. You glance over your shoulder and you see that he's even closer than he was before. It is a man, male figure at the very least, but still the details are darkened and your mother lies dead on the ground.
Keep running.
I'll always be able to find you. And he's even closer than he was last time.
I'm just gonna stop in my tracks and turn right around and face him.
Okay. He still walks towards you.
I'm gonna walk towards him.
And the closer you get to him, you see some of the shadows start to bleed away from his form. And it becomes more and more and more human. No, elvish by the second. And you can see beneath his skin those same pulsating blue streaks of lightning, just like you have on yours. And you look up into his eyes and you can see that same little freckle that you have on your chin, and you can see those same eyes. You know who this is. And he's smiling and his hand is reaching towards your throat.
I'm just gonna keep staring at him.
Okay. You stare at him and he smiles, and you feel the fingers start to wrap around your throat, and you feel the pressure slowly starting to set in.
I'm going to tell him, you know that you're powerless if both my mother and I have you captured, and you're never going to be free.
He smiles. Well, already have your mother, don't I? And he begins to squeeze tighter. You're starting to choke. Your eyes are going dark. You just see his smiling face as he squeezes tighter and tighter, and he says, "And now I'll have both of you."
This isn't real.
It's as real as I am right now, and you're about to pass out. You squeezes tighter and tighter, and your eyes are going dark. A couple of more seconds, you're going to be unconscious.
Can we see anything happening to him?
She seems to be rocking a little bit, but you don't know if that's just her. What are you going to do? No, Tobias. Last opportunity to do something.
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Tobias. I'm gonna cast Call Lightning.
Okay. In this dreamlike state, you suddenly bring the light back to your eyes, and as he watches you, you watch as both his and your hair begin to stand up on end as dark clouds begin coming in from above. And he looks up for a moment, just in time for lightning bolt to strike him in the chest, and he releases you from his grasp and staggers back a little bit. Begins walking towards you again. You calling another lightning bolt on him?
Yeah.
Over and over and for as many times as you can call the lightning down from heaven, striking until he's beaten, burned, bloodied, crisped into just a crater in the ground. You stand over him, his broken form. Do you say anything?
I'm just screaming, "You will never win."
And with that final word, just a divine beam of crisp blue lightning slams down. Nobody else sees any of this. But what you guys do see is suddenly, and without warning, both Tobias and Danny and just start vomiting these horrible, writhing masses of black goo from their eyes, their mouth, their nose, this ichor spraying onto the ground all over the place. And you guys watch as pretty quickly the ichor begins taking shape.
Shit.
I need everybody to roll initiative.
Just
you hear Danny from the side. You hear Aaron from the sideline go, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, Ark's like, "What the fuck, guys?"
I feel like no one should eat the food here anymore.
How many fucking daddy issues can you possibly have?
Audric, you need to roll a gun.
Crap, that's the wrong.
If that's their dad, what's their mom look like?
Everybody who has Sarah needs to re-roll.
Audric rolled gun, you hear?
Oh, never mind.
But actually, what the fuck are those?
Look like leeches.
Everybody knows where gun went?
I think
He is on his neighbor's Wi-Fi, so prone to disc.
In and out.
Alright, well, I'm going to roll for him.
Do a hotspot.
Alright, top of the turn order is these ichor things that have been sprayed out. There's a ton of them. So, 3 are going to attack Rodan. 5.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. They have pack tactics.
Oh.
22.
Yeah, 22.
Okay, that's going to be 11 piercing. 21.
Yep.
That's going to be 5 piercing. And 22. Jesus, Mary. For another 2. When they jump on you and sink in, they suddenly sink in and attach to you.
Question, did we
yes.
have temporary hit points from something last session? So I just had 4 marked down.
You actually, believe it or not, when you guys ate the food, I forgot to mention this, I apologize, you got Hero's Feast.
Hey.
Which means
I forget what that does.
Everybody adds 2d10 to their maximum hit point total.
Do we roll that?
That's fine.
Nice.
You just roll it. I'm supposed to roll it yourself, but we're just going to go with Rodan's roll. Everybody gets 19 temporary HP.
Holy shit.
Wait, is that added to maximum or temporary?
Added to your max for 24 hours.
Does that mean that are we still at our regular HP, or when we add that to our maximum?
Just put it in your temp HP pool, but until tomorrow, until tonight, basically, you guys can actually heal up those temp HPs.
Gotcha.
Sweet.
You guys also are cured of all diseases and poison. You become immune to poison and being frightened, and all wisdom saving throws are made with advantage, except the ones that we just did needed to be straight. All right, so everybody gets 19 temporary hit points.
Here's actually a question.
Sure.
Do I still have my weird 1d6 temporary hit points at the start of each day?
So this got
that may or
wiped
may not
out
be
by
a
that.
disease?
This got wiped out
cool.
by that. Yep.
That's fine.
2 of these weird things are going to go attack gun. (14 and 18). 14 probably doesn't hit. It doesn't, but 18. For 4. Okay, so that's that. We have 2 jumping at arc.
God damn it!
18 and 16.
Both of those hit.
So that's going to be 3. And 5, just like the other ones, suddenly suctions themselves onto you. We're going to have...
Okay, this is as good a time as any Eldritch or Hellish Rebuke.
Okay, sure.
I get 1 a day. Might as well.
Might as well.
Yeah.
What is it, a save?
It's a save.
DC 14. Or wait, let me make sure that's using my charisma.
Doesn't matter, they failed.
Okay.
So that's going to be 12 dexterity. Instead of typical fire, you roar out in this bright blue flame that just burns this thing right off of you, kills it in 1 hit. What are people DMing me? Yes, Tobias. Nobody knows what happened to Gun, right? Gun's not back yet.
I haven't heard anything.
Possibly he doesn't realize he's connected.
Evan. Gonna find out your mailing address and mail you shit. So 3 attacks towards Tobias. 22 and 17.
I'll take the 22.
Okay.
17.
Solid 10 as it sinks
Actually, wait.
into you.
After real. All right. I'll take the hits.
All right. So 17 hits as well?
Yep.
Okay, 13 piercing as they suction onto you. 1 does not. So these will be suctioned, we'll say.
Do a little colored dot.
Give him a little skull and crossbones. And 2 towards Dan. 18 and 20. I believe those both hit. They hit. 16, yes. So 7. and 10. 17 piercing damage to Danny as 2 of them latch themselves onto her.
Gun's working his ISP issues with the.
That's fine. Danny, you're up.
I'm gonna tompa.
Okay. Donk, donk. 25 is a hit
Hell yeah.
for damage. 8 bludgeoning. Nice. That's 1.
What?
It's 1 tonfa. That are you gonna do it twice on the same one?
1 on each.
Okay, 1 on each. So -8, -8. Both are still up. But they do look very hurt. Hob Gunblin is up. I'll be him.
A little deduction. It's 1, isn't it?
What? Hit points?
He's up with 1, isn't it?
Who? No, it's actually 2.
Okay.
Hob Gunblin is gonna.
This is a great time for a fireball.
Yeah, sure. He's gonna
everyone.
spear himself. 15 would hit. Just hit, actually. For 5 piercing. I have no idea what else he's capable of. Ark, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to hang on a second. Have
He's
Achilles.
capable of 2.
Hmm?
He's gonna roll one more time. 19 hits. He kills it.
Yes.
Okay, Achilles is gonna what? Ark?
Achilles is going to fly over and use the help action so I can get advantage on this Eldritch fucking blast.
On which one?
The one that's closest.
Okay, go ahead.
You know that only gives advantage on one of the.
I'm aware of that, but I can't. I have disadvantage on my like big old rifle at short range, right?
Also, he is in melee, and that is a ranged attack.
Okay,
So
so
it's
it's
gonna be a
disadvantage
straight
either
roll.
way.
It's just gonna be a straight roll.
In that case, no, I'm gonna cancel that. I thought since it's a cantrip that I could do it. So fuck it. I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. I'm going to move here, and instead of that, I'm going to use sword burst.
The fuck is that?
I'm gonna need dexterity saving throw from these 2.
Those 2. Okay.
Closest to me.
Is that a spell that
All right.
distinguishes friend from foe?
It's only a 5-foot range, so.
So 10 and 15.
First one fails, other one takes no damage.
Okay. So what exactly does this spell do? What happens?
I don't think I have my damage done correctly. Oh no, I just rolled terribly. This does a sweep of swords from my location that just kind of like razor blade around me. And on a failed dexterity save, they take the damage. If they succeed, it's a cantrip. If they succeed, then they don't take any damage.
Okay, you watch as Ark kind of brings his fist up in the air, summoning with it these spectral blades which spin around like blender blades, completely chopping one off of Danny, kind of giving her a very close shave, and chopping the other one in half, but it kind of forms back together.
I see your cantrips have been chosen.
Those are the 2.
Tobias, you're up.
Gonna activate Blade Song, bonus action, and attack.
Alright.
What? Actually. Attack the one above me with help action.
Okay. That's a hit. For 9 piercing. Ow! With the extra 7, you completely twist straight through it, evaporating it.
And then I'm gonna move to hopefully take some pressure off.
Okay, these 2 move with you.
Wait. Oh.
They're stuck to you.
Right, I thought they were dead because of that thing. Right,
Nope,
I see
they're
the
latched
difference
on.
now. That changes if you think. No, it doesn't change much.
Okay, you gonna stay there?
Yep.
All right, Rodan, you're up.
So I think these 3 are attached to me.
All 3 of them should be attached. I just forgot to mark them.
Since my AC has gone up, are they still attached to me?
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna move up to here.
Okay, they'll move with you.
And I'll raise my sword up into the air and release it and cast Spirit Guardian.
Okay. Distinguishing friend from foe.
Yep.
Wisdom save. Oh shit.
So
Is it save or half damage or save and no
save
damage?
a half damage.
Fuck. All right.
You just trivialize this encounter.
All right. Wisdom saves. Fuck. What's it? What's the range? 15-foot radius.
Radius. So that is like that's key.
Pretty much everything except the one on gun.
Yeah.
All right. So top, bottom, top, bottom, top, top, bottom. Let's see.
Is this DDR?
Up, down, left, right. BA start. 1,
DDR.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You pick the one. They pick the stat that they have a -2 in.
1 saves.
1 saves, takes half damage. Doesn't matter because it was already injured. You guys watch as Rodan, and as he lifts up his blade, there is angelic war horns. As basically all of them suddenly vaporized, every single one of them.
Except for the one on gun.
Multi-kill.
That one, my sword will fly over to and attack.
Okay.
Because I released it.
You guys watch as Rodan does something new, and he takes his blade and he hucks it through the air towards gun, and it starts flying.
Okay.
Can he cast 2 leveled spells?
Not a
No,
spell.
I just let go.
Oh, it's not a spell.
He just threw his
Oh,
blade
it's
and it
not-
started flying. Go ahead and roll an attack against it.
I haven't set up the thing yet, but I think it's a D20 plus 3.
It's your normal standard attack, basically.
Oh, standard attack. Okay.
Basically,
'Cause
yeah.
My attack is. Oh shit! I just accidentally added a thing. Right.
Well, that's a 7.
Yeah, we'll just
Plus
we'll
what?
just count as mine. Plus 5. Because in
Plus
the monster
5.
manual, it's plus 3, but would it be plus 3, 5?
They actually have an AC of plus 15 because it's not using the statistics of a flying sword. It's using the statistics of the actual item.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that makes it a bit easier.
Yeah. So you do miss with that one, but all things considered. Okay. So most of them are fucking vaporized. Bad times all around for them. That is the end of their turn. Audric, you're up. There's one left. You had to work so hard today, Audric. That gun back.
That's what I do as I cast Spirit Guardians.
Spirit Guardians is an amazing spell.
Do fucking Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
It's 13 hit.
My roommate plays
13 does not hit.
My roommate plays DDR on like the regional competitive
And
level. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Audric kind of watches this display and just kind of nods a little bit. He's walking up, kind of catching up. He was busy tying his shoe, and as he gets up and walks by, he sees the one still on gun and just pokes it and kills it in one hit. And keeps walking.
I did it!
Another day at the office for Audric. And the clearing falls quiet. Good. You have expelled from yourself your unresolved fears and anxieties, created by a scared soul. Allowed to grow, it would one day paralyze your hearts, prevailing over its purity in a time of crisis. Before you lies 2 paths. The road you take to get to me is your choice and yours alone. It speaks a great deal of who you are within. So choose.
Ark is going to say, I'm left-handed, so.
Damn. He's really far away.
Tobias is looking at just going straight across. Jump on lily pads. Jump on lily pads.
Like, did he say that within a turn? So we're still in turn order.
No, turn's over. Combat's over.
Then, okay. Again, I need to know how long it took for him to say that.
Probably as long as it took me. So 15 seconds, 20 seconds. 4 rounds.
Alright. Tobias is gonna charge ahead, smiling, and because like he's really happy to be rid of his fears. And He's gonna go left.
He's gonna go left. Okay, we'll hand it to
believe that
Tobias
is
first because I know Danny wants to do something.
120 feet.
Yeah.
120 feet. You're gonna charge left.
Let me see if I can actually reach him.
Well, let me start with this first. As you walk towards the left path, he notices you approaching it, and you're rearing and ready to go. And you notice the left path, and that's the one you're targeting. It looks like a clear shot. But as you approach it, he says, the lonesome path. If you haven't noticed quite yet, young boy, the stones here are just wide enough for you to cross, but too unsteady to have two step at a time. You walk a path that in your heart you know is uncertain. You filled with doubts about you and your abilities, and those who you would call friends and family. I know allowing these people to be here with you today was difficult. You are lost on the road of life, but so too are many of us. Sometimes you allow fear and anxiety of the unknown to control you and turn you every which way around, but now you are the master of your fears. The path is already within you, and you know the way to walk. Do not allow this temporary setback to consume you. And you go ahead and cross the left-hand stone path?
Yep. Using whatever I can as a foot, jumping around, trying to make.
Sure, just make an acrobatics check. 11. It's simple enough. You begin crossing
21.
the path. 21. You begin walking the path, crossing it. You get to about here, when you notice to your left, the shadow beneath the tree begins to peel away and take form. A twisted and familiar-looking face curled into a desperate frown, though you can't quite remember it, and it locks eyes with you. And as it does so, the whole world goes dark. You're conscious, but you're blind. As this creature peels itself off the tree. I need everybody to go ahead and roll initiative.
I forgot to say it, and feel free to turn me down, but I was going to cast Magic Bullet while he was talking.
That's fine.
Okay.
My spirit gun is still be running.
Yeah.
Since the last combat started, it's been 6 rounds.
Thereabouts.
Okay.
Who am I missing in the turn order? Audric and Gunn, he's still not back yet? This fucking Triceratops is not here!
What is this?
Delete.
I feel like this like Sarah is the worst decision Sandman's made.
Audric, you're up.
So angry.
Well, rather, not you're up, Audric. You need to roll initiative. Mr. Evan, thank you. Tobias, you are blind. You know the last time you saw this horrible looking fucking thing directly across the water from you, and now you're balancing fairly precariously on the stones, not being able to see.
I still have connection with my familiar. Can I tell it to attack? Well, not attack it per se, but attack it to give me an idea where it is.
Your familiar is also blind.
Oh.
It's an extension of who you are. It is also blind.
Alright, well then I'm going to attempt to throw the shifter. With disadvantage, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Oof.
20. You feel it stick into something. It does, for everybody else, it does land in its foot. It wasn't exactly an accurate throw, but he kind of doesn't make a sound as he just looks at you.
Alright.
So 11 pierce.
Yeah. And bonus action. Teleport.
Okay. Now
Just check
you're
reason.
engaged in melee with something that you can't quite see.
At least the odds are a little bit better. But let me look at something real quick. I'm gonna have you read the. Says you don't need advantage on the attack roll to use sneak attack against it if I'm within 5 feet of it. Would that count since that's kind of a teleport?
Nope.
As soon as it gets hit.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, is that your turn?
Yes.
All right, Ark, you're up.
Might as well go for it. Actually, no, I'm not gonna use magic bullet. I'm gonna use a regular shot.
Okay.
Using help action, so I'm gonna have advantage.
Okay. 15.
15 to hit.
Flies, strikes it right in the shoulder. The bullet, you can still see its rotation as it turns, and it just gets sucked into its form.
So it's squarely hit, but no damage.
No damage.
Does it help if that damage is also partially magical?
Nope.
Huh. Hey guys, I think it's immune to damage, so that's a problem.
Well, you saw it bleed when Tobias stabbed it.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, that's my turn.
No,
then.
Rodan, you cannot.
Damn it.
That's my turn. I gotta wait and see if other people have better luck than I do.
All right, Rodan, you're up.
Let's see. How deep's the water here?
In that cove there, it goes about 10 feet deep. In this center pool here, it drops 50 maybe.
Yeah.
You can jump.
And are these both on the same? Yeah, I'm thinking that. Are these both on the same level?
Yes,
The
it is.
islands here?
It is on the same level.
Yep. How is long jump calculated? Because I'll be able to get a running start.
So
I don't have enough
long
movement
jump.
speed, though.
Well, no, it doesn't count towards your movement speed. One sec.
I'd have to dash. I think it's like 3 times strength score or something. There's the book. Come on, today.
So long jump. When you make a long jump, you cover a number of feet up to your strength score if you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump. So what's your strength score?
15.
So 15. So if
The
you
rocks.
go 20, you can move 15 feet from this point. So basically grabbing the edge right there and pulling yourself up.
Alright, I'll dash and do that.
Okay,
And,
the dash will allow you to reach the other side comfortably.
Yeah, and then I'll try and like clamber up next to Tobias here.
Okay.
Are you saying any?
Well, what you hear, Tobias, is
I'll say it's me.
Okay.
Well, you don't know that he's blind.
Well,
he doesn't have his normal accuracy, so you do have that.
Tobias would be kind of turning towards you, like, okay, what's that?
If he turns towards you, you can see his eyes are completely black.
Ew.
Okay. That's much
Defensively. Okay, now to protect myself on 2 fronts? Oh, it's you. Okay.
Can we see whatever he's fighting?
Yep.
What do they look like?
It's just a horrible fucking creature. It has it's got a female face, these long, gnarled, stabby-looking arms, black mottled form, and a desperate-looking look in its eyes, and it seems hungry for Tobias.
Oh, I've still got Spirit Guardians going on, so at the start of its turn, it's good to do the save.
Okay, it's not going to save because your Wisdom Guardians plop into it harmlessly.
Damn.
Audric, you're up. Hey, Audric, you're up. 25. You do have a line of sight on it. So you moved. What happens after that? No, Adric, nobody could hear you.
In D&D, no one can hear you scream.
$25 is a hit. Once again, bullet strikes it and just
Nothing can hear you scream.
Okay, bonus action reload. And that's the end of your turn.
Nothing.
All right, go ahead and fix your mic situation. Danny, you're up.
I'm gonna. Let's see. The master isn't like telling me to continue to cross to him, is he?
He's kind of watching the fight over there right now.
But we weren't supposed to like go at the same time, right?
It's up to you, whatever you want to do.
All right, so I'm.
But
gonna...
understanding how this quest is working so far, seems if you proceed to a certain point, you will summon a new challenge.
Mhm.
Admittedly, you did also only say, I want my own help, so that option is out there as well.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start ribbiting.
Okay, you guys watch as Danny form begins to shrink and it.
And I'm gonna hop on over towards Tobias. Like,
You might want to stay a person first. Frog speed doesn't have very high speed. Do they have a swim speed? Let's find out.
no,
My Hero
I'm
Academia lied to
hopping.
me.
I'm hopping from lily pad to lily pad.
Yellow.
So they long jump up to 10 feet. Frog speed only has movement speed of 20 feet.
Okay, then maybe I should.
Are you planning on avoiding him, or are you just trying to go around? Like, what's the plan?
No, I was gonna go towards him.
You may just be better off being a person.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I'll just start making my way over. Because the only thing that hit properly was